The clocks here in Hoosier Tire qualifying.
Throws it down into turn number 1. Sonis down the back straightaway, that bright number 12. Nice entry into the corner and takes that quick turn into turn number 3. Drifts up the racetrack just a little bit, comes down to complete the lap. And 18.314 is the official time of record for Brian Sonis. So he will be the provisional pole sitter for the Toyota Mod Classic 150 here in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. We're going for the Hoosier Pole Award, and pulling off of turn number 2 is veteran campaigner Ken Hagee. Hagee takes the white flag from starter Sean Houlihan, a stalwart of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour from Calverton, New York, in the Hunter Mechanical machine. Nice run through turns number 3 and 4. Hagee has 18.428 as the time of record. Comes down for lap number 2. And Hagee moves to the top of the board, 18.242. 18.242. The third to take time. Interesting story on this one. It's a local driver making good in the John Michael Chanette automobile. Steve, who do we have behind the wheel today?
Andy Lewis Jr., the teenage phenom out of Ontario, New York, the USNE Power number 8, getting his first laps here in a tour type modified here at the Oswego Speedway. And Andy Jr. quickest so far in 18.151 first lap here for Andy. I asked him how do you get practice running Oswego on the tour type modified. Of course, everybody's answer nowadays, iRacing.
You could be witnessing the beginning of a new era. Nice, solid run at 18.030. He picks up some time, and fast time set by Andy Lewis Jr. out of nearby Ontario. Speaking of Ontario, another one of those drivers, one of the 3 Catalanos in the field tonight. This is car number 84 and Tyler Catalano.
Tyler's got some sportsman laps here at Oswego, and 18.313 puts him third so far out of the 4 that have taken time.
And Tyler Catalano, one of the 5 Catalanos to bring race cars here to Oswego Speedway for the International Classic. And Catalano's going to time trial in position number 2, 18.065. So Lewis still the fast time. So you have the 3, you have Tommy, you have Tyler, you have Trevor, and you have Mom Amy. Who's the 5th out there today?
Timmy with his sportsman, Dr. Turtle Timmy. He's got his doctorate in pharmaceutical.
That's amazing. So a great family of racing represented here this afternoon, and another great family name on the racetrack. Say hello to car number 77. This is Mike Christopher Jr. behind the wheel for the 2nd time this year in the Gary Putnam number 77. Always a fast race car, lots of history here at the racetrack. And Christopher, with a Whelen Modified Tour win at Jennerstown back in 2002, takes the checkered flag. No surprise there. First one to drive down into the 17-second bracket at 17.905. 17.905 for Mike Christopher Jr. And this is something we rarely see. If track position is everything, if starting up front will really set the tone for your night, Justin Bonsignor needs to turn around his practice time. A nightmare practice for the driver who is looking for some momentum. The 4-time champion goes straight to the top of the board. That's just what the doctor ordered. Can he improve? Justin Bonsignor, slow through turns number 3 and 4. Pulls it off of turn number 4, takes the checkered flag. Still up on top. Does he cut into it? Yes, he does. 17.788. 17.788 for Justin Bonsignor. Could have been a 5-time champion had it not been for a race here in 2023, but more on that as the night rolls on. And his cousin's on the racetrack now for car number 22.
Kyle Bonsignor, a strong top 5 run this year at Lancaster Motorplex in July. And Kyle doesn't oust his cousin. He does move to second, though, at 17.902 for Kyle's first laps here at Oswego.
Kyle Bonsignor, interesting stat on him. He's never sat on the front row throughout all of his races. For a driver with multiple wins and a ton of laps led, needs to work on the qualifying. It could happen here tonight. He'll qualify provisional outside pole with 17.897. Good run for Kyle Bonsignor.
Now on the Speedway, the FX Caprera Car Company's USNE Power PJ54. This is the Rocket, Tommy Catalano. Tommy making his 100th career start with the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour here tonight, and he definitely wants a win here at the Steel Palace.
He could do it. He had a great run last year and was a very fast race car the previous year. Catalano's run really strong up here. It's a bit of a hometown race for them, even though it's not their hometown, and very fast, 17.857. Can he take down Justin Bonsignor? We'll find out. Checkered flag out. And Tommy Catalano goes to the pole, 17.711, new fast time for the PJ54.
And trying to outdo his eldest brother, the USNE Power FX Caprera Car Company's 56. This is Trevor Catalano, but Trevor does have one thing on Tommy. Trevor got his first Whelen Modified Tour win before the Rocket did.
Right after his 18th birthday in a thrilling race, he held off Ron Silk in one heck of a heads-up dogfight. He did not back into that one, neither did Tommy earlier this year, also at Monadnock. He fought off Ron Silk to win that race, and now he'll pull it off of turn number 4. The 19-year-old Catalano gets the checkered flag from Sean Houlihan and comes up with position number, where did he come up?
Came up fifth, a 17.963, the quickest of the two for Trevor Catalano.
Yeah, I wouldn't call Tommy Catalano a sleeper this afternoon, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see him on his 100th race in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour break through to victory lane. And if you look at Racing Reference, you'll see there's already a 100 up there, but he did not race one of those races. He had a DNS, did not start, so technically this would be his 100th event. On the racetrack now, how about Tyler Ripkema in old blue number 3? Talk about a historic weekend. Doesn't get more historic than that race car.
Absolutely not. And second lap for Tyler jumps him up to third, a 17.880 for the driver of old blue. Tyler Ripkema has some laps around here at Oswego. Watch for him for tonight's 150.
And he loves this racetrack. Another driver who has really come alive, a multi-win season, and is now tied for number 4 in the point standings. He loves the bigger tracks too. That's where he succeeded. He won at North Wilkesboro, he won at Richmond, and now car number 46, who always runs up front here, Craig Lutz, seals it off of turn number 2, kicks it out sideways just a little bit, and I think it's early enough in the run where it may work to his advantage. Heating those tires up, coming down to take the checkered flag. It's going to be Craig Lutz moving to the pole, 17.617, 17.617, new fast time, and it's Craig Lutz. No big surprise for car 46.
No big surprise as well. Next car on the racetrack, the defending race winner, the Toyota Mod Classic in the Fleetworks number 1 out of Orchard Park, New York. This is NASCAR Xfinity driver Patrick Emmerling.
And these guys have a ton of momentum on their side. Recent winner at Thompson in that special Jeff Bodine throwback. He's the defending champion of this race, and he's only 22 points out of the point lead. Car number 1 for Patrick Emmerling currently sits in third. Where does he stack up as he takes the checkered flag? Emmerling will move to spot number 2, 17.622, just a tick off from Craig Lutz. And now the driver who, while he's not part of the championship battle, he's always a threat every time he takes the wheel of one of these Whelen Modified Tour events.
2 wins here at Oswego for the driver of the number 16, Ronnie Silk. First lap for Silk puts him up fourth, a 17.722. Ron Silk fourth right now.
Now, if you're watching on your second screen experience and you're a live attendee or you're watching on Flow, he went lower than any other driver in turn number 1. Literally 2 inches away from the inside barrier. Does it pay off for Ronnie Silk? I will, but not fast enough. He's going to wind up third, 17.660. So that's how tight these drivers are. 17.617 your pole sitter. Emmerling is second with 6.22, and then there's 6.60 for Ron Silk. On the racetrack, you have the driver who's trying to smash all of that. One of the big surprises of the season, at least early on, they've hit a bit of a rough patch here in the last couple of months or so, and Steven Kopsick can turn his season around, but qualifying has been his Achilles heel. He runs strong, but struggles in qualifying. Let's see where he ends up here, coming off of turn number 4.
Jumps up to 6th quick, a 17.841 for the driver out of Newtown, Connecticut. And the next car in line, his crew chief has won here multiple times. Driving the Joey Stern zone, Billy Putney prepared. Advantage Trailers number 14. This is Jake Lutz out of Hamburg.
Jake Lutz could be winner number 9 on the Whelen Modified Tour this year. We've had 8 different winners. Not one of them named Jacob Lutz. We've had Craig Lutz, unrelated, with 2 victories, but I'll tell you, by the way this 14 has run on tracks like North Wilkesboro, like Oswego, like Lancaster, I would not be a bit surprised to see him break through. He's under the checkered flag, and does another Lutz end up on the front row?
No, Jake will go fourth, a 17.661 for the driver of the black and gold, number 14. And next up, your tour points leader, Austin Beers, the KTM Motorsports number 64, the youngest of the 4 horsemen from Mud Lane.
Can you imagine being 22 years old and racing at this level and fighting off drivers who have been after it since you were in the single digits for age, and you're beating them week in and week out? You're Austin Beers in car number 64, current point leader by 10 over the 4-time champion Justin Bonsignor. He's the only driver to complete all the laps this year. Checkered flag out and give it to Beers. Beers to the top, 17.588. 17.588. That's all he needs. He's going to be the provisional pole leader. Can he hang on? This is a big one, Steve.
Big money. Matt Hirschman, one of the elders of the 4 horsemen down on Mud Lane. First lap for Matt. He is a 12-time winner here at Oswego all time in a tour type modified, 2 on the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, and right now Hirschman is 6th on the charts. He's a little over a 10th behind pole sitter Austin Beers.
They've been a little bit off this summer. Nice pull off of turn number 4, trying to turn it around because now he's on the chase, and car number 60 will move to the top. There's your pole sitter. He's been the fastest all afternoon. He is Matt Hirschman, car number 60, 534, the official time, and the pole sitter for the Toyota Mod Classic 150, and the winner of the Hoosier Pole Award is the driver of car number 60. That would be Matt Hirschman. Hirschman picks up his 19th Whelen Modified Tour pole. Mike Stein turning the wrenches on that number 60. And another solid run, very quick out of the gates. And of course, he's trying to match his dad here tonight. Tony Hirschman with 3 wins in the Whelen Modified Tour version of International Classic Weekend. They've run off and on since the 80s. Brian Ross won those first 2 races. Hirschman won 3 times. Matt has won twice, and now trying to match up to the 5-time champion. Later on tonight, trying to take another step towards that and equal the stat.
Here's a little Larry McNugget for you.
Okay.
Tony Hirschman's 3 wins here at Oswego in NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour competition all happened in the same year. They came here to Oswego 4 times in 1989. Tony got the win on Memorial Day. He got the win on July 1st, and then he got the win on September 2nd, which was a part of the International Classic weekend.
That's interesting. I was talking with Tony, and we referenced that very year. He didn't allude to the fact that, and this is so Hirschman of him to say, well, he didn't allude to the fact that he won all those races, but he referenced a year where it seems like every big weekend we were here. And you know why he remembered it so well? Because he won every time.
I was going to say, you won 3 out of the 4 times, and I'm pretty sure, knowing Tony Hirschman, I'm pretty sure he had a top 5 run in the other race, which was won by a NASCAR Hall of Famer in himself, Mike Stefanik, and his lone win here at Oswego.
When you look at who's won here in NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour competition, it's really all heroes. Drivers that are in the top 40 of all, top 40 of all time of the Whelen top 40. Just a matter of fact, I believe every single driver who has won NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour event here is part of that 40 list. It's pretty incredible. You can't luck into one of these things. These drivers obviously race in, week in, week out, and this is a track that you need to know your stuff if you're going to go to Victory Lane.
You do indeed, as there is the number 60 of Matt Hirschman. The top 6 in practice shattered the Oswego Speedway track record for a Tour Type Modified.
Yeah, the big names win here. Each winner has been on that 40 greatest list. And let's go trackside to Trent Wilkinson with the winner of the Hoosier Pole Award and Matt Hirschman.
Well, Matt Hirschman still proving that he's got the speed to climb his way up to the top of the charts here in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. With Matt Hirschman, congratulations, Matt. You just proven to yourself that you still got the speed to climb your way up to first.
Yeah, we've always had the speed at Oswego. Hirschmans have always been good here. It's a good track for us. It's a race that we're usually a contender to win, but winning's not easy, and we've come up with some second place finishes as well. So far we've done everything we need to do. We're in a great position here. We'll start up front, and we'll see what kind of race develops, and hopefully we put ourselves in a position to win.
And what do you think the strategy would be to hold on for all 150 laps?
Well, we have tires to change, but you need cautions to come out to be able to come in and put them on. And if you do, you need good pit stops by your pit crew. So we'll just see how the race goes and when the cautions fall and decide from there what to do. But if you get some cautions, you're going to have some activity on pit road for sure.
All right, thank you, Matt Hirschman. Qualified in first with a 17.534.
Thank you very much, Trent, for that information down from pit road, and just cool, calm, and collected. He would love to have a heart rate monitor on him right now because I'm sure it's real low. He's an athletic guy, but he's just so cool. Yeah, we won the pole, and here's what might happen during the feature race. Later on tonight, it will be the 150 lapper, the Toyota Mod Classic 150 here at Oswego Speedway. From the Steel Palace, we're back on FloRacing after these.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. No. Stay where it is. Thank you. I got you.
Does he get the plaque or anything? Like, is there a pole award thing that he gets now too, or no?
I don't know.
It's the Toyota Mod Classic 150 here at the Steel Palace Oswego Speedway, live on FloRacing. You just witnessed Matt Hirschman blister the field. He was fastest in the first practice, fastest in the second practice, and the driver who's trying to match his father's stats by picking up his third win here in NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour competition will start from the pole tonight. Before we bring you the 150 lap race, the Toyota Mod Classic 150, we have a sports modified 40 lap feature. And for all of the great side-by-side racing action, it's my pleasure to bring Steve Petty and Jay Trainer to the microphone to call this one. Guys, take it away.
Thanks, Andy. Once again, heat race number 1 for the Sportsman, the XMR Sportsman Series. Andy J. and Chris Vinatieri, row number 1. Row number 2, Brian Silvas and Jesse Kent. Row 3, Daniel Majak and Alan Buckmiller. Row number 4 will be John Barber and Tyler Harpst. 8 cars the distance, 8 laps the distance. Lights off. The Oswego Speedway pace truck will head to the safe haven of the infield. We'll get ready to go. 8 laps here at Oswego. First of 3 rounds of qualifying for the XMR Sportsman Modifieds. And we are green. Let's kick off the Saturday portion of the 69th running of the International Classic.
And right from the get-go, you have Chris Vinatieri in the 81 ride, able to get the bite coming out of turn number 2 in single file fashion for the top 4 or so as they'll circle around through the third and fourth corners, completing lap number 1. They get things sorted out, and the Andy J ride of the 57X will sit in the back pocket coming out of turn number 2.
Andy J runs second. Brian Silvas there in third, and his number is 79, about a car length behind. Majak runs in fourth. That's the fourth and final redraw spot, as we'll redraw the top 12 for tonight's XMR 40. But they're still chasing Chris Vinatieri up in front in his number 81, with Jan Koyak about 2 car lengths behind as they head back to turn number 3.
Silvas is knocking at the door into turns 3 and 4, looking for that running room, currently riding in the third position. And we keep our eye on this fight that continues to shape out into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Andy J. He draws to the rear side of the Nerf bar of the racing leader down the back straightaway. Chris Vinatieri holding on to that spot through the corners, coming out of turn number 4 this go around.
We'll work off the corner back to the line one more time. We are halfway home. 4 in, 4 more to go. And Chris Vinatieri still up in front. Andy J trying to chase him down as they'll head into turn number 3. Battle for 4th. John Barber working the outside in his 0-1. He'll go after Daniel Majak here in the 14 as they work across the stripe. They get the 4th spot now to John Barber as Jan Koyak tried to look the outside, but Vinatieri will hold him off. They head down the back.
Down the back straightaway they will go. Again, single file fashion for the most part. Off the apex, they're on the throttle again, coming out of turn number 4. We'll see the parallel popsicle sticks indicating 2 more laps of racing left in this one. Andy J still looking for which way to try and challenge and make a bid coming out of turn number 2. He looks high, he looks low. Which way should he go? Into 3 and 4, we'll be looking for the white flag coming out of turn number 4 this go around.
Clean sheets up in the air, 5/8 of a mile to get them back here at Oswego. Chris Vinatieri continues to lead. Andy J in a second. Brian Silvas third. John Barber in fourth. They head down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3, off corner 4. Heat race number 1 will belong to the 81 of Chris Vinatieri. Andy J scores in second. Third will be Silvas. Fourth will be Barber. Then Daniel Majak in the 14 will complete tonight's top 5 with Alan Buckmiller, Jesse Kent, and Tyler Harpst rounding out the field.
And that is Sportsman Modified XMR Racing here at Classic Weekend. 8 laps the total distance home. Of course, the top 4 are the redraw spots going into tonight's 40-lap main event for the Sportsman Modifieds.
Heat race number 2 getting ready to go as the top 5 will head to the scales with the GTR Promotions officials team, making sure they all will make mim weight here in qualifying, and it looks like Chris Vinatieri has done that. He'll take his Charlie's Paving 81 into heat victory lane here at Oswego. As he'll smile for the cameras while NASCAR pre-tech going on before qualifying. But heat race number 2 for the XMR Sportsman Series will be lined up like this. And it is an all Catalano front row. Dr. Turtle Timmy Catalano out of Ontario. This driver drove through the field not once but twice last year in this event to get him a top 5 finish. He'll drive the Power and Construction 64. And to his outside, a New York State NASCAR champion, Amy Catalano, in her USNE Power FX Caprera Car Company's number 54. Row number 2 to the inside out of Walnutport, Pennsylvania. He drives the J.on Fleury model of Stan Grover Auto Sales, number 48. That is Jake Chrisman. And to Jake's outside, out of Hamburg, New York, he drives the Sealmaster number 27. It's Earthquake Jake Vernon. Row number 3 to the inside, making his Oswego Speedway debut in the 48H this evening. It will be Mason Hanel out of Clarence. And to his outside in his 70 Deuce, he ran last night with the Super Stocks. That is Johnny Bennett in the 70 Deuce. Row number 4 to the inside, Jeff Sharkey in his 66 out of Oswego will start 7th, and lining up 8th out of Southport, New York. By the way, if you're wondering where Southport is, it's a little bit south of Elmira. It is John Wilbur in the Wilbur Auto Sales number 4. 8 cars, 8 laps of distance. Top 4 will head to the redraw. Here in heat race number 2 here at Oswego.
The FX Caprera pace truck continues to bring the field around down the back straightaway, and they're going to double them up, go side by side for their qualifier. Again, 24 cars making the call, 24 entries going into tonight's 40-lap main event for the XMR Sportsman here for Budweiser Classic Weekend. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for being part of things. And we'll be looking at the white flag this time around. Green flag go ahead on the next time by. White flag is out. They'll be receiving the green flag go ahead from coming out of turn number 4. In the starting line, you can see the line across the Speedway surface over in turn number 4, and that's where they are told to fire. And as the drivers make any sort of last-minute adjustments and they cinch down, raring to go, this is going to be a fun one indeed with that all-Catalano front row.
Timmy and Amy will lead them to the green flag. As they'll head into turns number 3 and 4, they will pick up the pace off that 4th corner, and they will mash the gas to make it go fast. Heat race number 2 is underway at the Steel Palace.
Timmy Catalano getting the bite into turns 1 and 2 in the early goings. Jake Chrisman doing double duty this weekend. He tucks it downstairs, looking for that running route to the inside, trying to make that Sportsman stick to the inside like glue coming out of turn number 4. He'll hold on to the 3rd spot as the number 54, car 54, where are you? Amy Catalano right there in the back pocket coming out of turn 2.
Down the back straightaway, her second eldest is leading her by about 3 car lengths as they work off turn number 4. As they'll head back to the stripe, we'll click another one here on the counter. Tim up front, and Amy is reeled in her kid off corner number 2. A strong run there in corner entry. They head down the back straightaway. Here comes Amy. She'll try to the outside in 3 and 4, but she'll settle it right up against the inside boilerplate as they work off turn number 4, head back to the line. Timmy Catalano still leads.
Yeah, the family feud of sorts is sorting things out, if you will, coming out of turn number 2. You don't need a game show for that. You can certainly just go racing right here at the Oswego Speedway. And now it looks like Timmy Catalano has really put out a little bit of real estate between himself and Mommy Dearest, Amy Catalano, right there still in the back pocket, but a little bit of time behind. Halfway home in this one. 4 laps down, 4 laps to go here in qualifier number 2.
Jake Chrisman running in 3rd at his number 48. He's done some laps here at Oswego in a super stock, plus now here in his Sportsman Modified. But right now, Jake Vernon trying to hold off Johnny Bennett here in front of the line. Johnny had an interesting night, to say the least, last night in his Superstock during the DLM 17, which that race won by Buffalo's Andy Cryan as they work off turns number 3 and 4. The parallel popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 laps to go as Jake Vernon continues to hold off Johnny Bennett.
Timmy Catalano still leads the way off of turn number 2, single file fashion for the bulk of the field. Closest battle again shaping up is back through the field in that tight battle for 6th spot. Down the back straightaway they will go. Again, Johnny Bennett looking for that running room. White flag is out, certainly no peacekeeping here as the 64, Timmy Catalano, is your race pace leader coming out of turn number 2 on this last go around. Down the back straightaway they will go, setting themselves up into turns 3 and 4. We'll see the checkered flags out for Timmy Catalano in the 64. He is in for the win, and congratulations going out to Timmy Catalano, Amy Catalano second, and right there Jake Christman in third. And it was a great run for Christman here in this qualifier, as he started third and ended third, as he was still challenging and making a bid. Really, at the beginning of the race, faded just a little bit, but was able to hold on for that third place finish.
Timmy Catalano will head into qualifying victory lane, but I believe he missed the point of going over the scale, so Timmy's got to drive it back around to get on the scales first.
And that's where Mom would maybe interject and say, hey, follow my lead.
Yeah.
So the field of XMR Sportsman Modifieds are lining up for their third and final round of qualifying on the back area of the infield pits. And of course, Timmy down here excited to get a victory in qualifying, but still needs to go back over to the scales and make sure that he makes the proper weight. Always great to be back here in the Steel Palace, especially for Classic Weekend, Stephen. I know this is a place that you enjoy coming to and watching racing growing up, and I'm sure you have all sorts of memories, but in your case particularly, it's certainly nice to be able to call some of the stars that you've grown up watching of sorts here.
It is. It's kind of a surreal moment for the fact that I get to announce here at the Oswego Speedway. Of course, not to get me wrong, I love what I do announcing at Ransomville and Lancaster on the weekends. But there is just something about Oswego that just puts it over the top.
So very true, and of course the Budweiser Classic Weekend, a staple of sorts, has been around here for many, many years, but here comes qualifier number 3. Stephen Petty, why don't you take it away?
Heat race number 3 will look like this. This driver will be running in the 69th running of the International Classic here tomorrow out of Fulton, driving the Glenn Stiers Racing. Number 6, Josh Sikolik out of Fulton. And his outside will be the 41 of Timmy Lewis out of Ontario. Row number 2 to the inside. Horseheads New York's Nick Morich in the number 6 will line up in position number 3. Into his outside, driving the Young's Racing entry this afternoon out of Elmira, New York, it's the Piranha, TJ Potrabowski. Row number 3 to the inside, out of Waverly, New York, into Jolson Racing, number 17, it is Lee Sharpstein. And Lee's outside, out of Kunkletown, Pennsylvania, the 03 for Jaden Brown. Row number 4 to the inside, in the John Bentlem Heating and Cooling. Number 94 out of Ontario, it is Paul Fly. Paul will be doing double duty as he'll be crewing for the Catalano cars during the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour event. And going in position number 8 out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, in the Some Limited Designs, number 27, it's Evan Rogalski.
So 8 cars set to pace the field in this one, 8 laps the total distance home. We're seeing a reoccurring theme here for all the heats. 8 entries each, 8 laps. Top 4 redraw, and then 40 laps for the total distance home for the Sportsman Modifieds.
Do we like the number 4 around here or something?
Something to that effect. 4 and 8.
An absolutely beautiful Saturday here in Oswego, New York. Here just off the beautiful shores of Lake Ontario. The Steel Palace roaring back to life one more time on a Saturday night.
Thank you for coming out for day two. Those of you who are in attendance, those of you who are watching on FloRacing, thanks for tuning in and being part of the audience and enjoying some modified madness today. Setting things up for the third and final day tomorrow right here at the Steel Palace in Oswego, New York. White flag was out. We'll be looking for the green flag. Go ahead on the next time around.
And of course, don't forget, tomorrow's program will end with the 69th running of the International Classic.
Pace truck will take that hard left turn into the safety confines of the pit area. They're coming for the green flag. Green flag is out. And they're coming down the front straightaway for the first time. And my, oh my, Timmy Lewis able to get the bite, but you know what? They broke ranks way too soon on that one. And it's going to be a complete restart, I believe, because we did not like that initial green flag go ahead coming out of turn number 4. They have to break ranks coming out right at that line over in turn number 4, and it happened a little bit too soon. So the white flag is out, ladies and gentlemen, and they'll be coming around for the green flag go ahead on the next time by. Side by side they will go with Timmy Lewis to the inside now in the number 41. And we'll be keeping an eye on that 41 ride as the command car through the corners into turns 3 and 4 they will go. Drivers cinch down, they light the wick by pushing on the gas, and green flag is out. We're racing once again.
Field will take off into turns number 1 and 2. We are missing the 6 of Josh Sikolik. Sikolik took his car pit side during that break. They head down the back straightaway side by side for the lead. Timmy Lewis Jr. and Nick Morich will go wheel to wheel as they head off corner 4. They'll drag race down the Oswego front grandstands. And Nick Morich has the lead in his number 6 with Lewis and Sharpstein in tow.
Coming out of turn number 2 now down the back straightaway. Give the nod again to Morich in that 6M. It is single file fashion through the corners off the apex on the throttle again with Timmy Lewis in hot pursuit. He's in the back pocket spot down the front straightaway now. He'll try and prove he's the master faster as he gets a look to the outside, and he says, you know what? Let's just cinch down the back straightaway on the rear nerf bar of Morich into 3 and 4.
They'll work off that 4th corner back on to the Oswego front straightaway. Nick Morich continues to set the pace here in his number 6. Lewis runs 2nd, Sharpstein in 3rd, Piotrowski in 4th, but is in jeopardy of losing the 4th spot as they head down at the back of the turn to number 3 and 4. Jaden Brown, Evan Rogalski, all right there trying to go after the Piranha for the 4th and final redraw spot.
Sikolik, check that. Morich, your racing leader, coming out of turn number 2, still on the back straightaway. Timmy Lewis still trying to challenge and make a bid for the top position. You can throw a blanket over the middle of the pack as they come on down. Lee Sharpstein in the mix there. Jaden Brown and Evan Rogalski going at it into turns 1 and 2 now. And coming out of turn number 2, let's see how it's going to get done down the back straightaway.
They'll work to turn number 3. 3-car battle for the 4th and the final redraw spot. TJ Piotrowski trying to hang on to it. Jaden Brown and Evan Rogalski are right there. 2 laps to go. Meanwhile, back up front, Timmy Lewis Jr. looking to the outside of Nick Morich off turn number 2. couldn't pull it to even terms. They're down the back straightaway. It's still Nick Morich up in front. Lewis once again going to tiptoe to the tulips to the outside groove. Nick Morich going to try to hold him off. He's got 5/8 of a mile to get there.
No peacekeeping here under the white flag, the clean sheet, and it is a challenge for the lead coming out of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway again, Timmy Lewis knocking at the door. They are Nerf bar to Nerf bar off the apex, and guess what? Yellow is out, caution is out on the Speedway, yellow is out on the grid. I did see a quick video on our video feed of the car that was out of shape coming out of turn number 4 and wondered if they were able to finish it anyway. Still calling that racing action with some excitement before I actually saw the yellow flag.
TJ Potrabowski, right front, damage to the number 2. The Elmira heat treating ride, the Kevin Young's owned and prepared ride. TJ picked himself up a couple of wins this year down at the Chemung Speedrome in weekly competition, and TJ will pull the steering wheel out of the holder of his number 2 ride, and Kevin and Keith Youngs and the crew over there will make sure to get TJ's car ready to go come feature time a little later on tonight. So that'll put Evan Rogalski into the redraw as of right now. Jaden, and we'll take a look here at the replay here on Flow, and we'll see they work off turn 4, and yet TJ just possibly off the bumper, into the inside boilerplate right there on the front straightaway. But we are back to green as the green lights are on. One more trip around Oswego. They head down the back